Okay, let's go ahead. Let's talk about Myles Garrett real quick. Myles Garrett got 5 sacks. I think did he tie Reggie? He tied Reggie White, right? Or yeah, I think he tied Reggie White. I should
I
have.
believe so.
Yeah, tied Reggie White. Number 1 in the league right now, 10 sacks. Got 5 sacks last game, and he was really ticked off. And I guess he said he would trade a 5-sack game for a win, for the Cleveland Browns. And Myles Garrett was all but out of there in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? He was making really strong demands. Wanted to win, wanted to play for a Super Bowl caliber team. And then all of a sudden he signed a contract extension. And, you know, he said there were promises that they were going to do better with trying to find a quarterback and things of that nature. So Garrett signed a four-year extension worth $160 million, averaging $40 million per year. The extension runs through 2030 NFL season. $123.5 million guaranteed, and it made him. It was at the time. I think Michael Parsons has eclipsed this, but at the time it was the highest paid non-quarterback deal in the history of the NFL. Does Myles Garrett have a right to be ticked off at the Cleveland Browns and what's going on there? Them having a great defense, but their offense can't move the ball. And so it looks like he's ticked off that the offense is not doing a great job on their side of the ball. And a lot of people are saying he put himself in this position. That money still spends, so spend the money and play hard on defense. And this is what your career is going to look like. You know what I'm saying? Or should we look at it from the standpoint of maybe he wanted to be in Cleveland, maybe he didn't want to move, maybe he just wanted to put pressure on the Cleveland front office to do a better job and find a quarterback. Maybe he could be upset because Dylan Gabriel's still in there and they're not playing Shador. I mean, I don't know how Shador looks in practice. I don't know what they see him, but what do you think? How should we look at this Myles Garrett situation in Cleveland?
I think who was that movie back in? I want to say it was the '90s, the late '90s. Was it Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen?
Yeah, that was what was that?
It was Money
all
Talks.
About the Benjamins or something? Money Train?
Money Talks.
Oh, Money Talks. Okay. You know, don't get me the line. I said All About the Benjamins.
Hey, look, that applies too.
Yeah.
Ice Cube and Mike Epps. It applies. All About the Benjamins. Money Talks. All About the Benjamins. Yep. What else? What other money movies? That man was so angry and his mind was made up and he wanted out of Cleveland, and that money started talking.
Yep.
And so he stayed. And look, I'm not criticizing him for his decision. He knows what's best for him, I would think. But that's what he chose.
Yep.
I mean, the Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland Browns. I mean, Bernie Kosar and Ernest Bonner are not walking through that door.
Oh my goodness.
Webster Slaughter is not running any routes out there.
Man, the good old Cleveland Browns. Boy.
Yes, sir. And what was my other man, the running back, Kelvin Mack? Like they're not there. They're not there, Myles. You're there, and you have what you have. It's just like getting dealt. Where you around that table playing poker, you playing tump, you playing spades, whatever. You get dealt the hand.
Yep.
And he had a chance. He had a chance to enter a whole nother card game and get a whole nother hand. But he decided to stay at that blackjack table and play Russian roulette.
Oh, goodness. Oh, man.
So he'll be just fine.
Oh, man.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, I tell people, I said, do that money. You know, it reminds me of people be like, yo, yeah, if Trump do another stimulus, I ain't taking that money. Do the money spend?
Exactly.
Is the money still green? If the money's still green, man, just play hard, man, and just spend that money, because that's a trade-off, man. That's
it.
That's a trade-off. You know, he knows that organization more than anybody else. Like, he knows it better than us.
He knows it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, and I mean, just think about how many quarterbacks they done been through since he been there.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? We can go all the way back. I mean, Tyrod, Baker, Um, who else, man?
It's been so many guys that you really forget. Like seriously,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's just that, and Stefanski is dead set on keeping Dylan Gabriel at quarterback. And the only thing I would say to that is that Mike Stefanski, if you're going to keep Dylan Gabriel at quarterback, and that's your choice, you need to start drawing up some plays where he's throwing the ball down the field more. I think the Browns, because I listen to a lot of the Browns local radio, because they're just so ticked off that it's actually funny when I listen to it. They just be cussing and everything, but they're tired of 5 and 6 yard passes every single time. You know what I'm saying? Like either Dylan Gabriel can throw the ball 20 yards or he can't. And it's like, if he can't, and he's just throwing the ball 5 and 6 yards down the field, that's a problem. I don't know.
Do they have the personnel to meet? First of all, you got to consider his skill set, because Jerry Jeudy can go deep, but do they have? Because look, going deep is more than just running a fly route.
That's true, but Booby, it's just like when we play Madden. You know what I do sometimes? First down and 10, I just drop back and throw that joint 50. Uncle Rodney do the same thing. I just drop back, throw that joint 50, 60 yards. I don't even care.
Right.
I ain't worried about whether or not I catch it or not. I'm trying to get a defense a million different things to think about.
Right on. No, I get it. But this is I was gonna say this earlier when we were focused on Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is the leader of that team, not just defense, but the leader of that team. I think that if Shedeur was setting the world on fire in practice, he would be chirping about Shedeur getting in there, and he's not.
And that's the thing. I thought about that. I've been thinking about that for the past couple weeks, and that's the thing that is perplexing about this situation. And look, and you know, not only just Myles Garrett. You would see a tweet. You know, these guys tweet nowadays. You would see something.
Sir. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, we never seen. We saw Shedeur play in a couple preseason games. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Not sure what he looks like day to day. You know what I'm saying? From what I'm looking at, and just being like, okay, looking at Dylan Gabriel, looking at him play. You know what I'm saying? I want to see somebody else. Now, I could be totally in the wrong. I ain't no football coach. You know what I'm saying? I ain't working no front office. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with them in practice every single day. But I think when you have a guy like Shedeur as a third string, who is rated high, and people of the fan base are saying, yo, how did he fall that far, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whether or not they believe he was blackballed or whatever, or believe that his talents is way better than where he fell to, it puts Dylan Gabriel and Mike Stefanski in a very bad situation when they have a guy they drafted in the 3rd round play and doesn't play well, and they're still losing games, and the fans and the local radio and everybody is like, yo, get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how do you juggle the two? You don't want to just throw your 3rd round QB, because that's demoralizing for a 3rd round QB to be drafted, be put in there for 4 games and be like, all right, that's enough sample size. We saw what we needed to see. Now let's get Shedeur in here. Let's get Shedeur in here and see what he can do. But also, this is the NFL, and it's like, if you don't play well and you keep losing, and we can't call plays that's 20 yards down the field, then, maybe at some point we got to throw Shedeur in here and just see what he got. And if he don't got it, then he just don't got it. But
see, that's the thing though. Said like, if you listen to Cleveland radio yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And then you go back in the archives and you play a Tuesday afternoon radio conversation in Cleveland about the Cleveland Browns from 10 years ago, you gonna think it's the same joint.
Same
You
thing.
like, oh, this just came on 15 minutes ago.
No, that's true. That's absolutely true. But see, and look, and you know what I'm saying? That's 100%. That's 100% true. And I think the main thing is just like, yo, like it all boils down to, I think people just want to see what Shador got. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? His last name is Sanders, so people just want to see what he got. And I think I'm not gonna put it on people. I think a lot of fans will be like, oh, he don't got what we thought he had, or you gave him a chance, he stunk it up. Let's go somewhere else. But you never know. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
But if I just put my general managers or coaches hat on, you know what I'm saying, going to a bye week, I would give Dylan Gabriel one more game. And I would say, and if we can't, and I would call some plays down the field. If he can't make the throws, if we get beat handily again, our offense is not moving the ball, I would follow up with starting Shador and then just see what happens. But I was listening to Jay Gruden, and he was like, that's the worst thing to do, because he did that with Kirk and RG3, and he said it's the worst thing to do to keep pulling these young quarterbacks in and out of the starting lineup. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been dealing. Look, like you said, Baker Mayfield, and you got the Deshaun Watson. You got one of y'all former 49er, Nick Mullins, Jacoby Brissett. I mean, they've been playing musical chairs for a while, man. And at some point, I'm thinking it's just like the situation over with the New York Jets. A lot of times, it's not the quarterback, and I think Daniel Jones and a few other guys have proved that. It's not always the quarterback. Sometimes it's the organization.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll sum that up with that, man. I Cleveland is a problem, I think, but that's just my 2 cents.
I know, and I'm like, yo, my grandfather been a Cleveland Browns fan for ages, booby.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously think since I've been watching football, they've been to the playoffs like 3 times.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think they went one time with Baker. They went one time with dang, who was the guy? I don't know if it was Colt McCoy or Caveman. They went with somebody. And then I think
they went with Kelly Holcomb, I believe.
Kelly Holcomb. That's exactly who it was. You pulled that out, man. You a savant. You are. You're absolutely right.
I was a Kelly Holcomb fan, though.
Yes, so, Kelly Holcomb. They went with Kelly Holcomb.
Yeah, they had Dennis Northcutt at receiver. Boy, yo,
that's crazy.
They had a squad.
Yes. Yep. And then I think other than that, it was Bernie Kosar. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was them, and that was it. That's the only times I can remember them even making the playoffs.